Hello and thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Binga Oreshegun. Today on the program, oil retailers demand that NNPC must be accountable to Nigerians, end opacity in operations, and want 3 million barrels reserved for domestic use in future. Say no information and repair of Port Harcourt refinery. And victims of 1995-1997 phantom coups write President Tinubu plead for reparation, recognition and restoration of dignity of innocent officers. And later on the show, defections push APC members to 68 in the Senate, 207 in House of Representatives. Well, I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mojid Jamiu. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. In a bid to keep Plateau State more secure, the administration of Governor Caleb Mutfwang is leaving nothing to chance. In this regard, the governor has ordered a crackdown on Okada riders who mask their faces while operating within Jos and Bukuru metropolis. According to Governor Mutfwang, the presence of such Okada riders constitutes a threat to security of lives and property and must be addressed before it gets out of hand. The governor urges residents of the state to take serious steps, warn their kids, wives and other people not to patronize masked Okada riders. Now, BK, let's begin the conversation, this way, talking about the crackdown on Okada riders wearing masks. Do you consider this a proactive measure? And also, is it enough?
Well, no step can be deemed too much or even enough. What matters is for us to defeat terrorism and banditry, especially in northern Nigeria. In the Bauchi Road area of Jos metropolis, a lot of people who look very much like terrorists, they come into the city from nowhere. Some of them riding Okada, they don't even know where they are going. And when you tell them to take you to some places, they cannot navigate their way through. So you have every reason to believe that these are people who probably were brought into the community to commit crime. And what is the point in wearing a mask? You're wearing a mask because you want to commit crime. And you want to ensure that you are not identified. You want to commit your crime undetected. So the governor has done the right thing by saying, look, we don't want people wearing masks while riding motorcycle taxis. And I believe that this is the right thing to do. Why should anyone wear a mask while riding a motorcycle? So people have been told, don't patronize such people. Don't take a ride when you know that the rider is wearing a mask. I'm happy that calm is returning to such places as Bokos, Basa, Miangu, and a few other places where mass killings have been reported in the past few months. I'm happy. There is a greater deployment of even tactical teams of the police as well as the army. So things are calming down. You are seeing a lot of calm in the Barakin Ladi, the Mangu area. Now, soldiers are even escorting people to their farms and bringing them back. This is the sort of thing that we want our armed forces to do, so that people can feel comfortable to live in those communities. And some of the people who went to IDP camps, who are taken to IDP camps, they are returning home because calm has returned to many of those communities. It's not as if pockets of violence still doesn't happen, like 2-3 persons killed here and there. But the point that one is making is that there is improvement, and it means that some of the methods adopted by the governor and the armed forces are working. Where we need to focus more now is Benue. Because like some people have made up their minds to be spilling blood in Benue, and the governor has to forget politics and think of how best to solve that problem. Otherwise, the same way people are ridiculing Otom at that time, the former governor, there's the same way that they will begin to ridicule this governor if he cannot find a solution to the mass killing of people in Benue State. It's horrible.
Okay. All right, Majid. Do you consider this a proactive measure? Let's not forget the influx of unidentified persons, masquerading as Okada riders in Town. Proper documentation is also needed here.
Basically, Jos and Bukuru are heavily populated metropolis in Plateau, and I don't know why somebody who is riding Okada will be wearing a black. It's not even mask. It's like a black hood.
Is it because of dust?
It's not. It's not dust now. Is there any dust in dust? Can there be more dust in?
It's not. You can't compare it to.
Why would you cover your face then?
That is it. If they are not covering their faces in Kano or Maiduguri,
that is closer to the Sahara. People don't dress like that.
Just is a very cool place. If you are wearing a jacket now or a sweater, it's understandable. Yes. But a mask, it's a very good step in the right direction. Because, if they do not have ulterior motives or sinister moves, or they are criminally minded, that's the only thing that can explain the fact that Okada riders will be wearing. In fact, any Okada rider that wears any mask or any hood on the face to be arrested immediately and questioned. By the time, and they need to actually make this, they have to send an enlightenment to them through the leaders of the Okada groups. No, they have their own, they have a very strong structure. I think
we have Akomoron and all
of those.
These ones don't belong.
They don't belong
which
to any
means if anyone that does not belong to, because the way they disseminate their information, anytime they have a meeting, they have at the ward meeting, at the ward level, at the local government level, then they have at the state level. They also have at streets, some parks, some markets. So they are well structured, and they have a central command where representatives from the wards, from the local governments meet at the state level. So the information dissemination is very, very seamless.
Proper documentation.
Yeah, proper documentation.
This person.
Yes.
We need to be able to identify.
And profiling.
And profiling, yeah, exactly.
Because then they should ensure that, the state government should ensure that all the Okadas have number plates.
They are registered.
That they are registered. Because in certain instances, you'll see Okadas or even Kekes without
plate numbers.
So it's difficult to track them. So, and it's an easy and fast getaway for bandits, for other criminals, for all manner of characters.
Absolutely.
Use Okada, for even carjacking and hijacking of bags and stuff like that. All manner of bad things are associated with Okada, and that's why it's been banned in
some states.
Several states. Several states. So it's for Governor Mutfwang, it's a right step it's a very good step in the right direction, and it should be enforced. And in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we will see a drastic reduction in crime rates in those areas, and especially in Jos and Bukuru and all other places. I mean, I don't see
and perhaps to check how they are coming into the state.
Yes, I mean,
you know, the entry into the state.
That's the profiling we are talking about. Some of them come in trailers where you see cattle, you see trailers bringing cattle and rams and other farm products. You see Okadas loaded on them.
All right, gentlemen. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation.